and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we're going to get an update on all of the interstate construction that's going on in Hampton, leading up to the bridge tunnel, and traffic and other issues. My guest is from VDOT, Nina Ullrich. Welcome.
Hi, Robin. Thank you so much for having us.
This is such a tough time. We are all so excited that traffic is one day going to move faster. But now there's so much going on and it's just changing so quickly. Can you just give people the vision of the express lanes to start, and then we'll get down to specifics?
Absolutely, Robin. So today we're going to be talking about the Hampton Roads Express Lanes Hampton segment. Now that's the 2.4 miles from west of Mercury Boulevard to LaSalle Avenue. But this 2.4 miles that's in Hampton is just part of a much larger network, and that's the Hampton Roads Express Lanes network. Now all 46 miles will run from west of Denby Boulevard in Newport News, through Hampton, through the area we're talking about today, through the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, all the way to the Bowers Hill interchange in Chesapeake. Now once those are completed, the express lanes will be operational throughout the network.
So Nina, let's talk about express lanes. What does that mean exactly?
So here in Hampton Roads, the Hampton Roads Express Lanes network is currently under design. We have some segments that are in design and some segments are in construction. The project that we're going to be talking about today is the Hampton Roads Express Lanes Hampton segment. That's for the 2.4 miles between west of west of Mallory Street to LaSalle Avenue. Now, this 2.4 miles is part of a larger network, and the Hampton Roads Express Lanes network, once completed, will run from west of Denby Boulevard in Newport News, through the Hampton segment, through the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, all the way to the Bowers Hill interchange in Chesapeake.
And express lane means toll or HOV, right?
So currently in our network, we're seeing the reversible roadway express lanes in Norfolk, and through coming into Hampton, we're seeing the ending of the HOV. In this segment, what we're doing is we're converting the 3 existing general purpose lanes in both directions to 2 general purpose lanes and 2 express lanes through the area.
Okay, and will that be, do we know exactly, the tolls will be variable. So when it's crowded, it'll cost more. When it's not so crowded, less, and high occupancy vehicle might mean 2, might mean 3. Has that all been worked out yet?
So in this area, we're still going to see high occupancy toll vehicle of only 2. And then that's when we're going to want to start to use our Easy Pass Flex transponder, because for those that are still using the HOV lanes, now once they're completed, because we're just starting construction, once the express lanes are completed, then we'll be able to use the Easy Pass Flex transponder for 2 or more to continue to use the lanes for free. But we're still a ways away from seeing the express lanes here in Hampton, because we're just starting the construction and we're just starting to see some of the traffic shifts and the lane closures that are happening on the interstate.
Okay, so now let's talk about what is going on Hampton right now. Because things are moving.
Things are absolutely moving. And I live in Hampton and I drive this corridor every single day. So what we're seeing, what we started to see right after the July 4th holiday, started July 10th, is that coming out of the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, I-64 West is a single lane reduction all the way to right before Rip Rap Road. Now, starting on July 16th, we did the exact same thing in the eastbound direction right after Rip Rap Road, started a single lane reduction all the way to Settlers Landing Road.
So what that did is, obviously, the interstate's wider and then it gets narrower, and so the squeeze down to 2 lanes moved, but not that far. Rip Rap is really not that far past that, I don't know if it Hampton River, Settlers Landing area. So it did push that back a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. And the majority of the work that's going on right now is over the Hampton River bridges. So let me try to explain what we're going to see coming up later this summer. The I-64 westbound Hampton River bridges will close to traffic. The I-64 west traffic will shift to the I-64 east Hampton River bridges. Now, at the same time...
Whoa, that's huge.
At the same time, the I-64 East traffic is also using the I-64 East Hampton River bridges, so we're going to have barriers in the middle separating the 2 lanes of traffic. And that's going to continue for quite some time while we're removing the eastbound bridge in preparation so we can widen and rehabilitate the westbound bridge.
So... And this happens in Norfolk already, where the construction is maybe a little farther along and the bridge tunnel approach is different. But people are going to have to pay attention for one thing, and make sure that they're shifting to follow those lanes. So when they close the westbound one, there will be 2 lanes in each direction still, but they'll be much closer together.
Correct. 2 lanes will be maintained in both direction at all times, but we can't stress enough, and I too drive this corridor, is that we really want to pay attention to what's going on in the work zones. There's a lot of work zones going on in the interstates. There's a lot of work happening in our localities as well. And we just have to remind drivers to slow down, pay attention, be alert, stay off your phone, drive distracted free, and just pay attention to what's going on around you.
There's real people out there working. And I think people forget that, because a lot of times you go, oh, there's nobody there. Most of the time there is somebody there. So, Nina, there's an app people can follow. How else can they get this information?
Yeah, so VDOT 511 is a great app. Android, iPhone, you can download it, see all of the traffic alerts, read what the signs are saying above you as you travel on the interstate, and also you can see all of the cameras that are online along your route. So what I do is I have my favorite cameras saved, for example, in the Hampton Roads Express Lanes Hampton segment here, and also we can go online and see those at 511virginia.org.
That's very cool. But now, if you're driving, let's remember it's hands-free, and don't pay too much attention to your phone. Pay most of your attention to the road. Maybe look ahead of time and see what's coming up.
Absolutely. Take a look before you get on the road, but also you can have automated alerts that will play through your Bluetooth depending on how your phone is connected.
That is so cool. You guys are so up on the technology. What else do we need to keep in mind? I mean, it's going to slow traffic down. It's going to create some backups. I am not looking forward to that.
Now, we are going to have a lot of bridges that are going to go under construction at this time. Now, remember, this project is going to go all the way through late 2026. So we're going to continue to see a lot of bridges under construction, a lot of different lane configurations. But our goal is just to keep motorists that travel through this corridor as informed as possible.
And it's going to affect the areas under the bridges as well.
So while some of these bridges go under construction, we've got the I-64 East Hampton River bridges that will be replaced. The I-64 West bridges over the Hampton River, they will be widened and rehabilitated, as will the ones over Settlers Landing Road and King Street. The one over Rip Rap Road, that will be rehabilitated. But this is going to be through the life of the project. Mm-hmm. So the next local road impact that we're going to see is going to be as early as later this summer, early fall, and that's when we're going to see a single lane in both directions on Rip Rap Road as well as King Street. That's under I-64.
Okay. And that shouldn't be too bad. I mean, King Street was shut down for a while, so at least we get to keep a lane in each direction.
Absolutely.
And what, of course, we in Hampton are trying to stress is for people to see that backup and take 664. Don't try to come through the Hampton City streets. We are not built for that. The backup is you're just moving the backup if you do that. Whereas 664 wide hopefully can handle more traffic. What else should people be conscious of?
So especially as the construction continues, we're going to see different construction activities have different traffic impacts. So while I know that as we're coming out of near Mallory Street that we're going into the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, those construction activities and traffic impacts are also different. So we want to remind people that while they're 2 separate construction projects, to stay alert because those traffic patterns will be different through that project as well.
And interestingly, I mean, I think this is interesting, but when you're widening 64, you are taking a lot of that to the inside lanes because expanding out would have had potential impacts on, the Emancipation Oak and VA, all those things. So keeping it within the current right-of-way can create almost worse issues for your workers because everything is so tight in there, but is really helping to save the Hampton traditions and treasures. So I think that is really wonderful that was worked out, but it is going to mean people really have to pay attention.
Absolutely. And our traffic congestion analysis does show that while the express lanes are under construction, we are going to experience a lot of traffic congestion. And then so we just need to be patient and then just pay attention to the road, be kind to our other drivers, and be kind to the construction workers, because once the construction is completed and the express lanes network is under operations, then the express lanes are designed to help relieve some of the congestion at these key locations, but it's also important to remind drivers that they're always going to have the free general purpose lanes available for use.
And that hopefully they will be moving faster because some people will be moving into that express lane. So we're still adding a lane, we're still reducing traffic, but I like that the HOV is only 2 people here. We are not Northern Virginia.
Right, and we're not going to change to 3. But
at least not anytime soon.
At least not anytime soon, at least not in the design for these express lanes network. But also for, when you mentioned earlier for the tolling of the express lanes, so tolling will be determined as it is currently on the Norfolk Reversible. It's dynamic tolling. So some people think that when the express lanes price goes up, that's because that there's higher congestion in the express lanes. Well, when the express lanes price goes up, we're showing that there is congestion in those express lanes. There's no need to pay the higher price to just go sit in the express lanes traffic. You can continue to use the free general purpose lanes. When the signs are at a low tolling, because it's dynamic tolling and the express lanes cost is lower, that's encouraging motorists to take the express lanes, to say this is providing a more reliable travel time to get you to your destination. You've taken a second option and you're only paying a small toll, versus sometimes if we've seen them as congestion increases in the lanes, that's when the price goes higher.
Certainly in Northern Virginia, it costs a fortune, and if I were commuting every day, I probably wouldn't pay that. But if you are on your way home from having to see a doctor or coming home for the weekend, you might think, okay, it's worth it today. And it gives people that option to say, yes, I do want to do it and pay, or no, I can sit through this. It's not that bad.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is changing so frequently. Nina, will you come back periodically and keep us updated, because it is such a dynamic project?
Absolutely, I would love to. And also, we encourage folks to go onto our Express Lanes website, 64expresslanes.org. If you go to the traffic alert tab, you can read all about what we talked about today. And then also, we can talk about what the upcoming construction looks like later this fall, and as well as the traffic impacts.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know that this is a confusing time, so please, drivers, be alert to a rapidly changing situation. Make sure you are keeping those highway workers safe. We need them to be able to do their job, and guess what? They're also human beings, so let's watch out for those folks. Slow down and not live in a rush, if that's at all possible, while this is going on, because it will lead eventually to a much better traffic situation. Thanks for watching.